week because I'm the slowest person in the world. I've sat for weeks looking at the sun coming in from that window. So I thought this week what I'll do is swap it around a bit, look this way, and actually get to see you without having the sun shining in my eyes. So how are you doing? I hope that you've had a good week so far. It's been a fairly good week for me. We've got lots to talk about, lots of things to say. Oh, who've we got? Nick, hello. You're the first one in the chat room today. Let me see what I've got here. So Nick is first in the room. Hello to you. Hope you're doing well. Yeah, if you're watching this on the live stream, get yourself into that chat room. They're a friendly little group in there, and they'll all chat to you as well as me. If you're watching this on the replay, hello, how are you doing? And don't forget, whatever we're talking about today, don't forget to make comments down below and let us know what you think of things. So who's in the chat room? I can see Nick, I can see Andy Merritt, I can see Wazza in there, and I can see Tammy in there at the moment. Hello to all of you. Kay is in there as well. Hello to you, Kay. So we've got a few in there to start off. If you want to join them, you're more than welcome to. So what do you think to the view this way? It's a little bit different, isn't it? It's very hot. Yeah. Hi, Chris. How are you? Humid in Scarborough. I expect you're going to get in the water and send me another photo, are you? Yeah, it's a bit muggy. So do you like this view of the room? I've got the Beatles over the back there. I don't know if you can see them. I've got a couple of albums here. Something for you to look at. Something that I painted up there. Just a little bit different round this time. And I just thought we'd try to do it a little bit differently. I have that. That'll be the day record. Great album, was that? Great album, isn't it? I've had that since I was about 13 years old when it very first came out. The album above it, in case you're wondering, this album is a group called Darts who were quite big in the UK in the 70s. And they're actually sat on a fairground ride. And the fairground ride belongs to my cousin. And it was taken at Woolwich one evening when they turned up and just said, could we take some photos? And he said, yes, not knowing what it was for. And he only found out what it was for about 3 months later when the album came out and he was walking through the shops and see his ride on the photo. So he never got paid for it. So it's a good photo though. Hi, Emmy. How are you? Samuel, how are you? Say hello to Samuel. Thanks, Samuel, because he's the one who came up with the idea for the video at the weekend, the comedy one. And thank you all for all the comments. There have been absolutely loads of them. And it was great to talk about it. I did think about just talking about loads of them, but I figured if I talked about all of the different comedies that I liked, we'd have been there for a month of Sundays. So I thought, what I'll do, I'll get all my series out that I've bought and we'll just talk about them because I like all of them, obviously, because I wouldn't have them otherwise. But there's a few that I still haven't got that I want to get. So who knows, down the road I'll be out buying again. But I hope you enjoyed it. I had a lot of fun doing it, you know. I forgot how many comedy series I had. I didn't think I had as many as I do. And when I was going through them, it made me want to start playing a few of them again because I haven't watched them for a while. Because now, as you know, I'm spending a lot of time watching films for this What I Watched in July video that I put out at the end of the month. So far, I've watched 7 of those. 7 films so far this month. And some good ones as well, I'll tell you. Who else has just come in? I've just seen... Hello, Dave. How are you? Dave Sherlock is in here. Sherlock's not his nick. That's his nickname, not his real name. He bought me a lovely drink this week, you know. Did you see the photo of it in the community post? It was one of them berry drinks, and it was really, really nice. Yeah, the reason it's more than one a day at the moment, and is that the other afternoon, can't think if it was Saturday or Sunday, it was so hot in here, I didn't want to be up here. and so I went down and we watched 3 films in the afternoon. So that added a boost to it. So I'm trying to get in front. My aim is to always to try and see if I can watch 20 films in the course of a month. It's not a ton. It's about enough to keep me going. Do you know what I mean? And I'm enjoying it. What I'm doing as well, I'm going through films that people have talked to me about and recommended me to watch. I've been looking on the telly and seeing what's available on the telly and on Prime, because I get Prime and I use that because it's free. That picture disc on the back wall is not a picture disc. It's something I painted myself. It was a record. It was, let me have a look. Shall I get it down? I painted this in 2020. I don't know if you can see it. I used to make wall clocks out of them. And I did a lot of painting and did different designs. But I had a mess about one day and I thought this looked good. This bit I did that, and it took about 3 weeks to harden. And once it was hard, then I thought I'd paint a little self-portrait of me with my headphones on. And that's what that is. I did it in 2020. It says so on there. It was one of those things that I did. You know, when we were all locked down and had nothing to do for weeks, I went in my garage and started. I went in the garage and started messing about with paint and stuff. And I bought a job lot of old albums years ago. I bought, I think it was 800 LPs for about 40 quid. And the only reason I bought this job lot is there were some things in there that I actually wanted. And he wouldn't split them up, so I bought the lot. And I still have them piled up in the garage, to be honest. Some of them I've got out and played. Obviously, the ones that I wanted have been. But then I went through it and decided there was a pile there that had no monetary value to anyone whatsoever. And so I used them to start painting on. And I painted little sayings on loads of them. I'll do a video one day and show you what I did. But they'd have sayings on like Northern Soul or Old Gold, or put the needle on the record with an arm, with a painting of an arm and the needle on the record. Do you know what I mean? So I had a little mess about and trying to do different things with them. And so I had a period where I played. It was because we were locked down. We didn't have much to do, did we? Instead of starting a YouTube channel, I messed about with paints and stuff in my shed and painted signs and did all sorts of stuff just to pass the days because it was so boring at the time. And yeah, that was one of the things that I painted. There are loads more of them. I've still got loads of them in the garage. I did sell some. I sold a couple. Some of my friends liked them and wanted them for their wall, so I sold a few of them, but I've never gone out of my way to sell them. Mainly because I don't like selling stuff. It's a terrible thing, you know. I have a shed. I bought a shed specifically for me to paint in about 5 years ago. No, probably more than that now. I had a shed specifically bought for me to paint in. But when I got it, it sounded bigger than it was. And then when I got it in and built it all up, it was too small. So I gave the shed to Debs. And Debs used it as her crafting shed for a while. And when it got to winter time and it got too cold to be out there, she brought the stuff in and she's never been out there since. So it's the shed that was bought to do so many things with has ended up as somewhere to put a lawnmower. So that's the kind of thing that we did with it. But yeah. GVN, hello, is that Gavin? I take it it's Gavin. Yeah, so we did lots of things, and during that lockdown, yeah, I played painting. You see Deb's lurking. Someone's lurking. It might not be Deb's though. Let me see, what's the time? Oh, it could be Deb. She should be back from work by now. Um, she came home for lunch and she was absolutely dripping. It was so hot where she works. It's only about 5 minutes walk away from our house, and she works in a nursery, and it was baking in there. She came back and she said it was so hot this morning. So I would imagine, yep, I would think she's back now and she's now getting in the shower to cool off. That would be my expectation of what she's up to. No, Chris, it's definitely not burglars. So where are we? Oh, subs. Do you remember I had the quirky number of 11444? It seems so long ago now. Do you remember when we were hitting the quirky numbers in about 3 days? Now it's about 2 weeks since we set the number for 11444. And at the moment, we are at 11409. So we're a bit away yet, still a bit to go. At the rate that it's going at the moment, I would think I keep this little thing and I kind of like put on there every time I do another 10. So we got 30 odd to go, and I would imagine it's going to take another 2 or 3 days before we get there, maybe a bit longer. It depends on the people who watch the videos and decide whether they actually want to subscribe or not. It's gone very, very slow. Yesterday it was like, took ages. I think we only got about 8 subscribers yesterday. It wasn't very many, and so I was trying to get that up and done. So yeah, we're at 409 for 444 is the one to come. So then we've got to think about what number we're going to have after that. I think I've already decided, and I'll share that with you as and when. What to talk about. Question of the day today. As you all know, over the last few weeks, I've been talking about vlogs rather, like an ordinary day in the life of whoever. And I've really been getting into them, and I really enjoy them. And I'm wondering would you watch it if I started doing a vlog? It wouldn't be a daily one. It would probably be as and when. It's something that's been playing on my mind. I've really watched them and really enjoyed other people's vlogs, and I wondered whether to try it myself and have a go and see how it comes out. The boring life of the Murph, it could be called. So that's it's something that I've been thinking about. What do you reckon? Should I? Shouldn't I? It's obviously you all know that my situation with health has stopped me being out and about, but I'm starting to feel a little bit stronger. I'm starting to be a little bit stronger than I have been, and so I'm kind of thinking about venturing out, and thought you may want to come along with me for the ride. It won't be in a car; it'll be just walking. But and giving you an idea of the things I get up to in the day, see the things that I think about, the stuff that I do. It may be boring as anything, I don't know, but I just fancy trying it because I've watched so many others and I've enjoyed them. So yeah, I'm thinking about doing a little vlog, like not an ongoing vlog, not an everyday vlog or nothing like that. Just one like every now and then when I feel like it, or when I've filmed enough things, because I'm really bad at getting around to filming, when I get around to filming enough stuff to edit a little video and trying to make something interesting to watch. So it's been something I've been thinking about since I've watched a lot of the others, and it may be something I'll try. Let me see what else. Samuel asked me, did I watch England? I didn't watch it last night. There was no way I was sitting up by 9:30. I want to go to bed, get to sleep. Do you know what I mean? And so I got up this morning. We normally get up. I get up and make a cup of tea about 5:20. because is in work before 7 every day. So I got up and made a cup of tea, and I got back to bed, drank the cup of tea, and then I thought, I know what I'll do. I'll go down and watch the England game. So I went downstairs and watched the England game, and that was like most of my morning took up. I watched everything. I watched all the interviews afterwards and all that sort of stuff. It was great. Really enjoyed it. It was a good game. There are a few things coming in on here. Let me just see if I can check. Wikinger. Oh, great. Thanks, Abby. I'm not sure what Wikinger is, or is that a spelling error? I don't know. Sean, thank you. Thanks for being in the chat room anyway. And I'm glad I could help you. I'm not sure how much help I could be on your PhD because I'm not the cleverest person in the world. But maybe just having me waffling on in the background has allowed you to concentrate on your studying and doing that sort of stuff. Hope it goes well for you anyway. What else we got here? My question of the day, Dave, is whether you would watch if I started to do vlogs. It's as simple as that. Would you watch the videos if I started to add vlogs to the output that we do now? Because not only is it hard work thinking up subjects every week for the different things that we do talk about, but sometimes for me, I feel like a break, and I think that doing a vlog would just take me away from that and give me a little break and let me do something different and see what we could put together out of it and then go back to them. Do you know what I mean? Because I've got to do a video for Wednesday as an example, and over the weekend I really haven't had a clue of what I'm going to talk about. There are a few ideas. I have a little book here, and in it I keep all the ideas as I come up against them, right? But the problem is, just dropped a paper. The problem with that is that I have these ideas, but fleshing them out sometimes is really hard work. And as I say, I've got a video to be out on Wednesday, and I have no idea what I'm going to talk about. Also on Wednesday, we got the grandkids coming. We'll have a visit from the family. We're having 2 of the grandkids are coming over, and their mum and that. So that would be quite fun. So we got that to look forward to on Wednesday. But I still tomorrow I've got to come up with a video, and I, for the life of me, I haven't a clue what it's going to be about. Right, let me just check in the chat room. Kay, I didn't see that. Do I feel better with the weight loss? Yeah, I do actually. I've lost so far 9 pounds with it so far, and I think that may be helping me to feel a little bit better and a little bit fitter. I went on a what was it? A Slimming World plan when we were on lockdown, actually, as it happens, and I managed to lose 40 pounds in that time. And when you think about it, 40 pounds is a lot. It's one of them, you know, on the water machines, you know, them big bottles that they put on the water machines. I think it's 44 pounds. So it's nearly the weight of one of them big bottles, which is quite a lot. So I lost that. And then over the next 5 years, bit by bit, inch by inch, I put it all back on and couldn't get rid of it. But so yeah, I lost a load of weight. But Deb said that she thought that I lost too much weight and said that I looked ill. So I would like to lose a bit more weight, which will make life a bit easier getting around, I think. It also may well help me better sleeping of a night time with my mask and things that I have to have on because of my sleep apnea. Hopefully, if I am starting to sleep better, but if I lose a bit of weight as well, it may well help me physically getting about. And that's what I'm hoping anyway. But I have seen some improvements over the last 2 weeks. So yeah, we're going to carry on doing that and seeing how it goes. Tammy, if you're losing weight and it's taking a while, that's a good thing, actually. Losing a pound a week is great because it's easier and more stable to lose than trying to go on a crash diet and lose 4 pounds in a week. Do you know what I mean? So you're if in the long term, if you're losing a pound, I started off I was losing 2 pounds a week, and then for the last 3 weeks, that's leveled off and I haven't lost anything. But I know the reason behind that is because it's been too hot to cook. And so we've cheated a little bit. Do you know what I mean? We've had lots of salad, which is great, but we've also had a few sausage rolls and a few pork pies and things like that, which aren't good for it. So I've kind of trying to get back into it now. I'll tell you something I've noticed. I might have told you before. I don't know. You know me. I repeat myself a lot. On this diet that I'm on, I replaced milk on cereal with 0% Greek yogurt. And I have to tell you, hated every minute of it. It stopped me enjoying cereals. And so I kicked that into touch because I'm supposed to be having 1,500 calories a day. And I haven't reached 1,500 calories in any day since I started it. So I can afford to go and have the extra calories from the milk and not have to have the awful Greek yogurt stuff. Greek yogurt's great if you put it in something like porridge. It works a treat, but in a normal cereal, it's blooming awful. Let me see. Steroids aren't good for you, Chris. I had steroids years ago. I had really, really high blood pressure when I was about 38 and was ill for a while. And steroids, I had to go on steroids, but they're not good for you. So I'm not on any at the moment. And I have no intentions of going on any, if the truth be known. So that kind of brings us up to date with where I am health wise. And so you'll see more of that if I do start to do these vlog things and I can make them interesting for you to watch. Then you'll see what's going on. You'll see my struggles with walking very far and all that sort of rubbish. But the fact of the matter is, life goes on. You just got to get on with it, haven't you? That's how I feel about it. What's next on my little list of things to talking about? The newsletter. I want to just talk to you about the newsletter a little bit. I've always thought that a newsletter was a good thing for me to have. I drink semi-skimmed milk, Tammy, for my cereal, so it's pretty fine. The newsletter is there because a lot of times my videos don't get sent out. Even if you're a subscriber and you've clicked the bell and you've subscribed to all, that doesn't mean you're going to get every video or every post that I do. And so what I did a while back was decided to start a newsletter up that will go out once a week on a Monday morning. And all it will comprise of basically is 2 seconds of me chatting to you to say hello, and a video, a link to all of the videos that I did in the week before. So you're never more than a week behind. I do a blog on Substack, but I only put perhaps one entry into it a week. So that goes out with it as well. And I do a replay video from when I first started, which is, it's quite, what's the word I'm looking for? Revealing at how bad the videos were in the early days. I think that's what it's about. Yes, Cade, this is the problem. You don't always get notified. James, that's Deb's walking about. Our bedroom's just behind there, and the light you can see is coming from our bath, is the light coming in through the bathroom window. So no, Freddy Krueger isn't here. Anyway, this is why I think you should subscribe to the newsletter, because you won't. It means that you'll get the links for the ones that you may miss out through the course of the week. I know it's a week behind, but it's the only way I can think that you can be sure that you're going to get the link to it. Whether you want to watch it or not is up to you. But by joining the newsletter, that's the easiest way. The address for the newsletter, if you're watching this on the replay, it's down below in the description. If your email gets filtered, you've got to make sure that I don't go into your spam folder, Andy. You can do that pretty easily. You just, when it goes into the spam, just tell it that it's not spam, and then it'll go into your normal one. So that's the newsletter, and it's going to become more important. I don't know if you saw my post that I put out this afternoon into the community tab, but I just want to quickly talk about this because I think it's going to be very important going forward with the channel. And the fears that I have from what I found out this week mean very possibly you may not get notified, and you may not see a lot of my videos on the homepage in times to come. What am I talking about? Well, YouTube sent us a message in this last week. I put a screenshot of some of the pages in it, but here's what could happen. I don't talk about politics very often. This is my exception too, and mainly because it's going to affect YouTube. The government have released a green paper and a consultation last week, but they've done it in a crafty way, in so much as they haven't told anybody. And I wouldn't have known about it had not YouTube let me know. But basically, what the government are going to try and do is legislate that YouTube will have to accept and prioritize the major media companies' videos onto their platform. I'm talking about the BBC. I'm talking about ITV in the UK. What this means is that they will have their shows on your homepage. You won't have much choice in that. And what it does mean also is that in putting the BBC and everything first, channels like mine will get pushed down, and you will see less of them than you do now. The other thing about that is, if you read into the green paper, there's a couple of little things in this green paper that I think need pointing out. I read through it yesterday. The first of which is YouTube gets more viewing than TV these days, which means that the BBC on the telly and all of the things that they want you to see aren't being seen. And because of that, the government wants it on here. Now, once it's on YouTube, what you'll find in the UK, this is my thinking about what could happen, is that when you open your YouTube page, you will start seeing live videos from BBC One or BBC Two, or the BBC in particular. If you don't have a TV license at the moment, you don't have to pay for it if you don't watch it. But if they pass this legislation and they get to put their programs on YouTube, that will mean that you will have to pay for a television license, which will bring the income in that the BBC has been losing because they've been losing viewers. They haven't worked out a better way of doing it, but it's a good way for the government to make sure everybody has to pay for its license. That's the first thing from it. Buried away in the chat about it They talk about independent news and how most people in the UK are now getting their news not from the BBC but via independent sources on YouTube, and they don't like it because they have no control over what you're saying or what's being said. And a lot of the political stuff that's on YouTube doesn't agree with the present government, and they don't like it. It's as simple as that. They don't like it. And now they are telling you in this consultation, in this green paper, that it's all spreading disharmony in the country, and it's not the truth, it's not the facts, or let's put it fair, it's not the facts the way the government wants us to see them. And if you doubt that, check out the video that I put on the YouTube on the community tab today. Check that video out, because the fella on it explains far better than I ever could how the government have got ministers on the board of directors of the BBC, how the government have got the new chairman from it has been got in from one of the social media companies, and you can see exactly what they're trying to do. They're basically going to try and shut everybody down so that we don't get the news from YouTube, for example. It doesn't affect me in the slightest because I don't watch the news on the telly, and I'm, as you've heard me say many times before, I'm not interested in the political stuff on here. So it won't make much difference to me, but where it will make a difference to me is that trying to build this channel, hopefully into a size that I will be able to receive an income that's capable of keeping me as I get older. That's less likely to happen if this goes through. And you as viewers are going to have less opportunity to choose what you want to see, because you'll find that your homepage, it may not be the same in America or around elsewhere in the world, but if you live in the UK, you're going to be force-fed this stuff. I don't like it, and you shouldn't either, I don't think, because what makes YouTube great is that you get the ability to find the content that you want to find from people that you want to listen to. If this goes ahead and this happens, that will all change. They will legislate that YouTube will have to do what they want. I'm not sure, Chris, that Starlink and a VPN will help much. I think if they get to do what they're doing about, I think we're going to have major problems. I think it will make YouTube much less attractive for anyone to watch, and certainly less attractive for me as someone who puts content on it. And this is why I think being subscribed to the newsletter is really, really important. I don't think it will change with Andy Burnham. Samuel, this has been going on for months. This is part of their plan. This is part of the plan, and you'll find that along the way, I'm pretty sure you'll have to end up showing your digital ID to start getting on some of these social medias, which means that they'll catch you and you'll be part of it. I'm not very happy with the way that I'm seeing things happen at the moment. I try to avoid it at all costs most of the time and just get on with my life in the way that I do and talk about stuff that's not blooming politically motivated. But this one is one where I think it has to be said, and it has to be said out loud. And I have to say it because if the government are letting this paper go out but not really telling you about it, it will be ushered in under the carpet and you won't even know about it. Now, there is this consultation, but the consultation only lasts until the 31st of August. So if you want to have your views known, you will need to have a look at it yourself and have a go and say what you think about it. YouTube don't want this. YouTube know that if this happens, that it's going to cause a lot of uproar. They said they were the ones that got in touch with us, and they said it's about your channel. If this happens, you will get pushed down. Not because we don't want you. The algorithm will have to change, and it will not be about the viewers anymore. Look at how the algorithm works. Let me just tell you, is it sends it out to your loyal viewers. If your loyal viewers watch the video, then they'll send it out to a few more. And if those people watch your video, then they'll send it out to a few more. And that is how channels grow. But once you get government dictating what goes on the front page on there, you're going to find it's much harder to be found. And even YouTube is saying it will be much harder for people, for content creators in the UK to be found by people, and it'll be harder for people who are viewing the channels. It will be harder for them to find your contact. So it's very likely that you will lose touch between one or the other, because you just know that if the BBC start to be able to put some control on what's on the YouTube, that it's going to be full on, and they will take a load of it. And so I have big fears about what's going to happen. Hopefully, if I take a bit of most of what my own advice, most of the things that you worry about don't happen. Hopefully this won't. But I urge you, if you're in the UK, go to my community tab, find the post I put on today, click on the video that I watched today from somebody else, and on his video he has the link to the consultation and the green paper for you to read. It's very long, very wordy, and you have to read between the lines to see what they're getting at. And also there's a link on there, I think, to be able to take part in the consultation and share your views for what good it will make. I personally don't think that it will be any good at all. I think they've got their minds set on what they're going to do. They're going to change media. It's going to be their way or the highway. And I'm not excited about what could happen. And so, yeah, I think this is something you've got to check out. It's certainly not been heard of. It's not being talked about anywhere, and I'm surprised. I'm surprised it's not being talked about more often. I've noticed, I found out on Saturday. I got the message on Saturday, and I took Sunday to kind of read it and ingest what it had to say. And I've noticed that there are a few videos on there today about it. But the funny thing is, the video that I watched today, I searched for it again and couldn't find it. But because I had it in my history, I could get it. So the link is on my community tab. Please go and have a look at it and let them know what you think of it, because I think it's downright dirty-handed, and I think it's a lot about control. And so, do you know what I mean? I'm concerned about it. Joanne, I do hope they've sorted your appendix out. I do hope that you're feeling better. If you've had your appendix out, just remember, don't stretch. Don't push yourself too hard for a bit. Just let it all settle down before you start getting out and trying to be your old self. Because what happens is, if you don't take your time and sort it properly, you'll end up splitting the scar and having it go back in. Just my tuppence worth. And the only reason I know this is because when they took my kidney out, that's what they told me, not to stretch, not to do anything that's likely to pull on your stitches. So hopefully that's what You should do. And I hope you start feeling better soon. And I hope you're not in too much pain. Right, let me just have a little quick look back into here. Project Weaver, hello. I didn't see you come into the room. Lynn, hello, how are you? Project Weaver, have I said hello to you? I'm just having a quick flick through to see who I have missed. We get all serious then. I don't like it when we're too serious. This is usually fun. This is usually fun, this live stream. And to be honest, I have to admit, what's been going on has been on my mind a bit over the last couple of days. And so I thought I'd share it tonight. I was going to make a video about it. But let's get on. Let's move on. I've got to talk about my notepad again. You're going to be sick of hearing me talking about this notepad. I've been, this week, I've tried to listen to more music. I got out of listening to my music, you know. And I haven't played a lot for a while. It's not now. Okay. Right. See you later, Andy. Have a good night. I've not been playing my records so much, and I've got back into it this week. And so I've been logging this in and keeping an eye on what I've got. Do you know what I mean? And what I've listened to. I've heard 10 albums this week. I've been looking through this. Memories. I'll tell you what, this is good. Elvis was brilliant. I loved Elvis when I was growing up. When I was little, my dad had some reel-to-reel tapes, and they were from 1958, and they were all the hits of the time, and there were loads of Elvis singles on these tapes. I've still got them, by the way. They're down in the cupboard down there. And so I was kind of brought up on Elvis. In my racks, if I could just see, there is some Elvis in here. I'll just grab these ones out. I know they're backwards for you if you're watching these. Here's a couple of my Elvis albums. Yeah, love a bit of Elvis. Like Elvis films as well. Even the Duff ones make me smile. And so I love them too. So I kind of watch a few of them. But what has been funny this week is, you know, through the course of the day, little things come into your mind that you kind of think about, and then you go and you just get on and you forget what you've been thinking about. Well, since I bought these things, I've been writing them down. And what struck me this week, and since the 25th of June when I started this one, is how many I've got that are outlined in orange. Because these are all memories that I've got, but they're all linked to music. And I'm amazed at how much stuff listening to a song can make you remember. I know it's the truth. I know it's been happening. It's always done it. But since I've started doing this is becoming like a notebook of things that I think, things that I hear, and loads of little memories that I've remembered from years gone by. And I got the feeling, you know, that if I keep this up long enough and keep doing this, that I'd have enough memories to write a book about, a book of memories brought on by music. And it's something that I kind of think, ooh, that'd be good. I could do that. So yeah, the notebook is a very good thing. I love it. I've got to be honest. I'm in my third notebook and I've only been doing it about a month. Let me see the chat room. You've got a reel-to-reel tape recorder to repair. Oh, is it? If it weighs a ton, it's not a ferrograph, is it? I had a ferrograph years ago, and it came from the BBC, funnily enough, in Bristol. My dad built it off from second hand in 1975 for £100 in 1975. So yeah, I love a reel-to-reel tape. As you know, I have got one. I had a really good one, and it is a ferrograph. Oh man, they were so heavy. I can remember them well. Uh, yeah, right, my reel-to-reel tape one. You saw I've done videos with it on. It sits here now and again. It's actually on the floor just here, and I play my old reel-to-reel tapes and get. What I'm actually doing is playing my reel-to-reel tapes because I've got all of my music saved up into MP3 files. I make little folders up, and so I've got, like, as I'm making these, listening to these tapes, I scribble down what's on them, and then I make a little folder up so it's on MP3 files, so I could just play the folder and listen to them, save having to get all the tapes out and that. But it's great fun, really great fun. Love going through this old music. Do I learn movie scores, be it Western themes from Ennio? Yes, I do. I do. My favourite of all of them comes because it's one of my favourite film, and it's from Ennio Morricone and the Cinema Paradiso soundtrack. I love the film, and the music to it's lovely as well, so I enjoy that. I don't collect soundtracks, funnily enough. I've got a few, not very many. And so I like TV themes. I know that's not a movie soundtrack, but I love TV themes. I've got far too many albums of TV themes, to be honest with you, that I've collected over the years. I love a TV theme. They don't seem the same anymore. Once upon a time, a TV theme was stand out, and you'd know what it is straight away. But they don't seem the same as they used to be. But yes, I do like soundtracks. I've got lots of soundtracks that are like this one, which was the soundtrack to That'll Be the Day, that are just compilations, really, of albums that the music's in. Films like FM, as an example. I've got that as the soundtrack to that. I have got the Sound of Music soundtrack, funnily enough, and I have got My Fair Lady as a soundtrack. Just trying to think off the top of my head, but I can't. So yeah, I do like that. Have I always been interested in tech? Kinda. When I was a kid, I've loved music from day one. Loved music from day one. When I was a kid, I had my first own record player at 3 years old. That sounds crazy, doesn't it? It's a crazy thing to say. But at 3 year old, I had my first record player. I'd been on the fairgrounds. Everybody knew I loved music as a little child, and I was always loving me dad's reel tapes. They were the first things. My sister and brother are 10 and 12 years older than me, and so when I was born, they were getting into the stage when they were buying the records of the early 60s. And so I've always had that. And because I loved music, all of the people that was on the fairgrounds, all the ride owners, would give me their old records. And so I had a load of records as a kid. And that's why they bought me a record player at 3. I had my first reel-to-reel tape recorder when I was 5. I got my first cassette player when I was, I don't know, I think I might have been 11, 12. And I've kind of carried on since then. I bought, I never had the 8-track system. Never had the 8-track. But I had mini disc and I had CDs, and obviously I got loads of records and that. So yeah, I've always liked that kind of stuff. I had a video grabbed me by the neck and shook me about back in 82. and so I kind of liked video and bought video films and things like that. So I've liked that sort of tech. Um, when it comes to tech like PCs and things, I've had one since, I don't know, about 97, I suppose, a proper PC. Before that, I had Commodore 64. I had an Atari ST, and I had, um, what was it? Another Commodore Amiga. That was it. I had the Commodore Amiga. So yeah, I've always liked tech. I'm not great at knowing what it does, though. I'm very much a learn as you go kind of guy. I'm not the cleverest, and I still don't understand loads of stuff about computers and PCs now. If I get any problems, I grizzle like a baby and run to my next door neighbour on that side. Had to think about that then, because he's a whiz at PCs, and I always get him to come and try and help me out and get me going again. So yeah, love paint you wagon. Good on you, Chris. I love that too. I've got memory. This is the kind of thing that I write in this now. When Wandering Star was a single, when it was #1 in the charts, it had been 1970. At the time, we lived in a flat over the top of a sweet shop. And downstairs, we got on really well with the man who owned the sweet shop, Mr. and Mrs. French, they were called. And I'd go in their shop, and they had a room at the back of the shop where they fed themselves and, kept the shop running. And when Wandering Star was #1, Mrs. French had that as a single. That was a single, and she had it, and she used to play it in the shop in the background. And I can remember getting her to turn it over and play the other side, which was Clint Eastwood, I Talk to the Trees, was the B-side of Wandering Star, which was Lee Marvin. So yeah, that brings back a little memory. And that's the sort of thing that has come to me over days that I've been writing in these. Favourite soundtrack is Elton John's Friends. I used to have that. Until I lost my business, I had that. Friends had a pink cover, didn't it? Pink cover and a drawing of, I think it's Elton in the middle. It's been a long time since I've seen it. Joanne, yeah. £500 if you live down the sweet shop. Funnily enough, we didn't get to eat that many sweets out there. We just got on really well with them. CDs coming back. Didn't know they'd been anywhere, to be honest with you, Samuel. I've got loads of CDs here. My son sent me this for my birthday. This is Charlie Puth, and it's blooming good. Good CD, I like that. So yeah, I still use CDs a lot, but I do copy my CDs straight over onto computer files. And so I generally in here play most of my music from my PC. I've got hard drives full of everything that I've got, because I've got records up here, I've got CDs there, I have CDs down there, I have records down there, I've got records downstairs in the garage, I have records in the shed, I have records in the living room. I got music all over the place. So I've tried to put all of it. I started transferring my music onto a hard drive back in 2003, and I still haven't finished. When I was doing discos, I used to buy loads of new CDs, and I converted my disco to a computer back in 2006, and so all of these CDs that are up here, which I've talked about in other videos, the majority of them have only ever been played once, and that's to transfer them onto the hard drives. So yeah, I don't think CDs are going anywhere, nor do I think DVDs are. They're still being released regularly. There are still loads of firms making DVDs. I don't see them going anywhere at the moment. And I think as time's going on, people are going back to that because they're losing their love of streaming. I lost my love of streaming because in the end I spent more time trying to find something to watch than I actually watched. And luckily, I didn't part with my DVDs. I have bought a Blu-ray player since, so I now have DVDs and Blu-rays, and I love them. I'd rather have them. I quite enjoy getting them out. I like the process. It's yeah, it's like records. It's the same thing with CDs and DVDs. I like the act of getting a record out of its sleeve, looking at it, putting it on the deck, putting a needle on it, and so and so. And I love the same with CDs, to be honest. I do like that. And I love DVDs and the packaging and everything that's around it. I like that. You don't get that with streaming. I love with DVDs and Blu-rays, the extras that you don't get with streaming. So yeah, I'm a big fan of DVDs and Blu-ray and that. That hasn't changed. Let me just check here. What else is on there? Do my most popular videos have a particular trend on the topic you talk about? It's really funny you should say that, because my channel has peaks and flows, little troughs, if you like. There are times when I started this channel, it was purely about optimism, positivity, passing these stories on to my sons to get them ready for life coming, to give them a bit of hope for their future, I suppose. I started that way, and then I made some videos about my records, and they did very well. The video that took off and kick-started this channel, I suppose, was the video I made when I said I'm doing away with streaming and going back to my DVDs because I was sick of it. That was the video that kicked the channel off. I've been doing it about 11 months by then. And then I did videos about DVDs for a little while, and thought I was going away from what I wanted to build the channel for. And so I went back to making the sorts of videos that you'll all see on here. But the channel has evolved over time. And for a while, it was my DVD videos that got the most viewers, and they used to do really quite well. But of late, I did a video back in April, I think, where I talked about whatever's happened to you, it's going to be okay. Some of you will have seen that video. And that took off. And since then, those are the videos that have made the channel move forward. So it's very hard. I had a period from April through to the midway through June where the channel went crazy, and it was all down to the videos that I talk about positivity and optimism and all those kinds of, and the life lessons and things that I've learned along the way. They have been the biggest push for growing the channel. My videos about DVDs have dropped away and aren't doing as well. My music ones are doing very poor, as it happens, which is a shame, because at the end of the day, my love of music is my biggest love. And so that's kind of the way that I've gone. Do I think I'll do any more masterclass style videos like the one last week? I don't know. The reason I did that video was because it was so hot in here that I lost the will to decide a video. Those videos, I made a playlist up, edited them in a very short way at the beginning and the end to make one long video. It's done okay. It's done okay. I'd hoped it would have done a bit better, but it's done okay. And yeah, I probably will do more of those along the way. If I can find, it's all about, I suppose, finding 4 or 5 that take you on a journey from the first video and add to it along the way. I hope that makes sense, because that's what I tried to do with the masterclass type thing. But on the other hand, I don't want people to start thinking of me as some kind of guru and some kind of teacher, because I patently am not. I'm just a normal guy who's had things happen to him in his life, and I talk about them. I'm nobody special. All the things I talk about are things that you could do just as easily as I can. And so, yeah, I may do. I've got to come to some sort of idea what I'm going to do tomorrow to film for Wednesday, but we'll see. Anyway, I'm going to go now. We're up for the hour. My dinner will be ready and sitting on the table waiting for me. So I will see you very, very soon. Thanks for being here. Apart from the bit where I talked about the stuff that I talked about earlier, it's been a normal fun meeting. Thanks so much, everybody. I've enjoyed this as always. I will see you all very soon. I'll try and get a video done for Wednesday. I'll speak to you soon. Ta-da now.